Thank you again for joining our YouTube channel. I'm here with my beautiful wife, Brianna, and we wanted to talk a little bit about what are some things that we're doing here to reach those around us. Because so often we're told that we should reach our neighbors, that we should make connections that are bring people to Jesus. But this idea of just going door to door and inviting people to church doesn't always work. And so trying to think through what does that look like for our family and how can we raise our boys to be disciple makers? How can we raise them to tell people about Jesus? So in this video, we're going to share a little bit about what we've been trying and would love to have you join us. Let's get started.
So one of the ways that our family is trying to reach the people around us is that we've started recently trying to be very intentional about blessing 3 people per week. So that can be anybody. There aren't strict rules about how we do it, but we involve our kids when we are trying to do something for someone. And it's
What do you mean by blessing though? Like what can you define that?
Well, to bless someone, the way that we've been defining it is to help them out. So it might be something that they ask us for help with. It might be something like baking a loaf of banana bread, which, we have to do because it's quarantine, and sharing it, or just stopping by and having a conversation with somebody who might be a little bit lonely or going through a rough time. We've done a few different things, but blessing really can be any kind of help to a person who might need it.
There's not a one size fits all of like, this is what it means to bless, but it's figuring out your family's gifts and matching those up with someone else's need.
That's right.
Awesome.
Yeah. And our kids are loving it. And we're feeling really great about it too, because just in the few weeks that we've been really trying to do this intentionally and really keeping track of how we're blessing people and who we're blessing, I feel like we've gotten to know a lot of people that we didn't know as well before, and we're more in tune with our neighborhood, and our kids are getting to know more people and they're excited. They wanted to, this morning, the boys wanted to pick some flowers for our next door neighbors because we've been taking them things every once in a while. And I just love that they're excited.
Yeah, and it's teaching them a tangible way to reach out and build those relationships for the kingdom.
That's right. And I'm one of those people that I'm not an extrovert, and I don't like to knock on doors and just, make a speech about Jesus necessarily. That's hard for me.
Is this easier though? Because you're still going and knocking on doors.
It is a lot easier, and especially because it always feels easier when you have something tangible to give somebody. Or when I bring my kids, I think they're pretty cute, and so they're really easy to knock on doors with. And we're not trying to be pushy about anything. And I feel like we're building relationships in our community, and that is easier to do from the ground up than just starting out with kind of like an in-your-face invitation to Christ without anybody knowing about me and who I am.
And some might say that actually going out and building relationships just for those relationships is a real way of sharing the gospel, maybe even more real than preaching a sermon, because you're living it out and you're showing that because Christ is in you, you love them and you want to do awesome things for them. And I feel like our neighbors have really enjoyed it, and several of them have reciprocated. And again, that's not the goal, but the goal is building those relationships. And we've definitely seen that take off.
Yeah. definitely.
So if you would like to try this with your family, this is what we're going for, and this is blessing 3 people every week. The goal is someone who is in your faith community, someone who believes the same thing as you. Bless them, and that builds that community. Also, bless someone outside of that. Bless someone who maybe has different beliefs, one of your neighbors who doesn't attend church. And then the third person, you can choose either or. And there's all kinds of different ways you can bless. I mean, banana bread, that's a good one. You can write them a note, flowers from your garden. If you're growing vegetables, sharing those, there's all kinds of different ways. But this week, won't you and your family find 3 people you can bless? Because not only will it make a difference for your neighborhood, for the kingdom, but also for your family. And if you would like more videos like this, we're going to be talking about intentional ways that we can do evangelism that are not traditional, and ways that we can do it with the whole family. So if you would like to be a part of that, we are going to be putting together a 5-part series. This is part 1. Me and my wife, Brianna, as we are trying to figure out how can we raise our children to tell others about Jesus. So if you want to be part of that, please subscribe. And if you think this is something other people should see, go ahead and share. We'll see you again next week.